We often say to ourselves, my issue is too small to bring to God. Or sometimes we even go further and ponder what type of problem is qualified as a problem enough to warrant a miracle. In today's story, I will be telling you about the very first miracle that Jesus had performed, and I'll be giving you 3 lessons drawn from the story that you can apply to your life to elevate your living. Welcome once again to Our Desolar Rights, where we step into ancient stories with a modern heart. Quick character list for us today. We have Mary, the mother of Jesus. We have Jesus of Nazareth. We have his disciples. And yay, we have a wedding. There's something about weddings. The joy, the laughter, the sense of new beginnings. And tucked into a wedding right there in Cana of Galilee was something that happened that was about to quietly shake the world. This was before the sermons of Jesus. This was before, the crowd started rolling in. Jesus was invited to a wedding in Cana, Galilee, and his mother Mary was already there. Of course, Jesus came with his disciples, and just when everyone was having fun and everyone was dancing, eating, drinking, something unexpected happened. Oh, they ran out of wine. Someone might think, okay, they ran out of wine. Why is this important to this story? But calm down. Don't rush the spirit. Now, let's look at the significance of wine in a ceremony. A wedding ceremony without wine was kind of like a shameful event because, for example, I was born in Nigeria and I was raised in Nigeria. The equivalent of a wine running out at that time is just like food running out at a Nigerian wedding. The truth is that even when you give birth to like your 5th child, someone will still remind you, remember when I came to your wedding and there was no wine. That is literally what we're talking about here. So it is shameful for you to have a celebration, call people together, and then there's no wine. So Mary, the mother of Jesus, heard that there was no wine. So she went to Jesus and she told him, they have no wine. And Jesus responded to her in John chapter 2, verse 4. And he said, Jesus said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? My time is not yet come. Basically saying like, Mommy, chill. You know it's not time for me to start doing miracles yet. What did Mary do? Mary just turned to the servant and she said, do whatever he asked you to do. And she left. There is something about the audacity of a mother. Remember that Mary is the mother of Jesus, and although we're just learning about Jesus now, Mary basically had front row seats to everything about Jesus' life, so she knew exactly who her son was. So she turns to them and said, do whatever he tells you to do, right? Now they had like 6 big pots, and Jesus told them, fill it up with water. After the servant obeyed and filled up each vessel with water, so Jesus told them to draw and go give to the master of the banquet. At this point, the servant obeyed and did what Jesus asked them to do and give it to the master of the banquet. So when the master of the banquet drank the wine, he was like, hold up, I have an announcement to make. And it was like in every wedding that he has been to, they always serve the best wine first. And after everyone has drunk to their fill, then they start serving the watered version of the wine. But this was the very first wedding that he had been to that the best wine was what they were serving later. Of course, not everyone who was at the wedding understood how the wine came to be, but the servants who obeyed Jesus and drew, the disciples, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, knew how the wine came to be. Now, what are some lessons to learn from this story? Number 1, there is no such thing as an issue too small for God. Sometimes in our lives, we go through certain situations and we feel like this is too small for me to bring up to God. God is busy trying to, figure out some big stuff. He really doesn't need to be bothered with my small issue. No. If Jesus could take his time to turn water into wine for a wedding celebration, come on now, for real. Bring everything to him. Do not be the one to decide and say, I don't want to pray to God about this because I feel like it's too small. There's no such thing as a small problem to God. Bring everything to him and watch him work. The second lesson is that when Jesus touches something ordinary, it can become extraordinary. If Jesus can turn water to wine, I bet you he can do the same with your life. What is that situation in your life right now that feels so ordinary and you need the touch of God to turn extraordinary? It might be in your family, it might be in your relationship, it might just be like with your own personal self, your calling, your career. When Jesus touches anything ordinary, it becomes extraordinary. The third and final lesson for today is that miracle starts with obedience and not with spectacle. Yes, Jesus had turned water to wine, but guess what he asked the servants to do? He told them to draw. Go ahead and draw and give to the master of the banquet. Remember that these were the same servants that had put water in the vessels. It may have been easy if the servants did not know that it was water in there. If they had just, resumed their shift and they told them, go get wine and go give, right? It would have been easy. But now they literally put water in those vessels for Jesus. And now he's telling them, go draw and give it to the master of the banquet. So it takes a level of faith and obedience to do that. So remember, miracle starts with obedience. There is a miracle waiting to happen when you obey. Obey today, and you just might be surprised. Y'all, this is the end of Bible story for today. Remember to share this video with someone you like, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and I really hope that you take the lessons from today and you apply it to your life. Remember, miracles start when you obey. Obey today and watch everything turn wonderful. I love you, and God loves you more.